Hi, writers. Today in writing, we're going to focus on editing our writing. And I thought a good place to start with editing would be with paragraphs. So, right now in your mind, I want you to think everything you know about paragraphs. When do we use them? What are they for? Just think right now. I'll give you a couple seconds to think about everything you know about paragraphs. Okay, so are some of you thinking they're usually about one thing? They're a couple sentences long. We put spaces in front of them. Remember, those are called indents. If you're thinking all of those things, that's a great start. So today I want to teach you that informational writers edit with a laser focus on one of the most important organizing structures, the paragraph. Writers look at the paragraph as one of the most powerful types of punctuation there is. Paragraphs separate not just words into sentences, but also whole groups of sentences into topics. So, writers, there's really not rules for when we need to make paragraphs. Even though it seems like there are rules and I can give suggestions, we often have to go with just what feels right when we need to make a paragraph. When do you feel like it needs to change? Let me give you some suggestions of when those feelings might be by looking at this anchor chart, and then we're going to look at some samples together. Okay. So, when to start a new paragraph? So, most importantly for our informational books, whenever you're talking in one of your chapters, you want to make a new paragraph whenever there is a new subtopic. So, for example, if I'm talking about the equipment you need, I should probably make each type of equipment its own paragraph as I explain them. Maybe you're talking about when time moves forward. Maybe you're talking about the history of your topic and you're going through time. Maybe each year is its own paragraph. Maybe each decade is its own paragraph. Maybe when a new person is speaking, maybe you interviewed someone about and got information about your topic. Whenever someone's speaking, that should be a new paragraph. Maybe the setting has changed. Maybe you're talking about one place in your story where mummies are found or where ghosts are found, and then you're talking about another. That would be a great opportunity to make a new paragraph. Maybe you're just realizing your paragraph is getting way too long and you need to break it up to make it more digestible for the reader. Certainly go ahead and make a new paragraph. And lastly, you can make a new paragraph when you really want to emphasize a moment or a point or a fact in your information writing. So let's take a look at one of my examples from my chapter book to see where we can make a paragraph. Okay, so right here, I'm going to show you my chapter on super swimming supplies. I have added to it and wrote, I think it's ready to go, but I realized, wow, looking at this is one really long paragraph, and right away, it's a turnoff to the reader. It's just way too much to look at. I get overwhelmed. So you want to take a look, go back and reread and see where would be a good place to make a new paragraph. Let's keep in mind those subtopics we were talking about earlier. So chapter 1, super swimming supplies. There are several things you need for swimming before you just dive right into the pool. To begin, you need a bathing suit. Not just any old bathing suit. Put the bikini away. The bathing suit needs to be a one piece that is sleek and tight. This helps you glide through the water. There are many brands of swimsuits and places you can buy them. Okay, right now I'm still talking about swimsuits, so it's making sense. It's all the same paragraph. My favorite brands of competitive swimsuits include Nike and TYR. You also need a swim cap and goggles. Oh, I'm kind of talking about a different piece of equipment here. I think I need to make a new paragraph. And remember, when you make a new paragraph, you simply have to press the enter button and then the tab button to indent. You also need swim cap and goggles. That's much better, it's already looking better. You also need a swim cap and goggles. A swim cap keeps your hair out of your face and helps you swim faster through the water. Just like bathing suits, they come in many different colors and styles. Goggles also keep the water out of your eyes so you can see clearly while you are swimming. Before you dive in, make sure your goggles are on tight so they don't fall off. A helpful tip is to put your swim cap slightly over your goggles. This will help them stay on and keep the water gliding past you. In addition, you should bring a beverage. Ooh, now I'm realizing I'm talking about you need something totally different, a beverage. So I'm going to make a new paragraph. Again, I'm pressing enter. And then, ooh, that one already tabbed, which is great. In addition, you should bring a beverage to keep you hydrated. I recommend water, Gatorade, Liquid IV, or Propel. Although you are in the water, your body is working hard. Therefore, you need water to keep you fueled and keep you energy. Lastly, don't forget a towel. Ooh, see how I have a transition word? That's also a good signal of when you could use it in a paragraph. Also, I'm talking about how now you need a towel. So I'm going to make a new paragraph. Lastly, don't forget a towel when you are done swimming. This will help you dry off quickly and keep you from getting cold, which will make your muscles tight and sore. Once you have these items, you are ready to get started. So writers, do you already see how much better and more digestible that looks? And it's just easier for the reader to take in. So as you're reading, I want you to go back and make paragraphs. Also take note of how much I wrote about each piece of equipment, really giving as much detail as possible. Let me show you one student example of another way you could do this. Again, I'm showing my student's example from last year who wrote about cats. And she decided to make paragraphs about between what cats can eat and then a paragraph about what they can't eat. So it's nice and clear and separate for the reader. Have you ever heard that cats drink milk? Well, I am here to tell you that that is not true. Did you know that cats can get really sick if they drink milk? This chapter will teach you what and what not to feed a cat. Let's get started. Wow, so she even kind of created a little introduction for this chapter and made it its own paragraph. Then, as you can see, she goes on and talks about a whole paragraph about what cats can eat, and then a separate paragraph about what cats cannot eat. Okay? So remember, writers, today, as you are editing and working on your informational chapter book, think about where you can put paragraphs. Even though each chapter is its own slide, we should have paragraphs within those slides because we're putting so much information in each chapter. All right, off you go.